is I saw this opportunity instead of getting frustrated that, oh, I have to clean the house, I have all these things that I need to do. And instead of that, remember what is the most important thing? The most important thing is how I feel, is how I vibrate. Because remember, it's not what we do, it's in what vibration and energy I do the thing. Welcome to the Effortlessly Abundant Life podcast. I'm Natalia, a certified hypnotherapist and a mindset shifter. Not too long ago, I was a broke, burned out, multi-passionate, single woman to now making six figures effortlessly, marrying the love of my life and attracting what I want by using my unique bridge method. I'm here to help you achieve the results you want in any area of your life by owning your true unique self with less doing, less stress, and definitely less effort. Now let's jump to today's episode in 3, 2, 1. Hello, my beautiful souls, and welcome to another episode of Effortlessly Abundant Life. We took a break last week, so today we are back. It's June already. It's beginning of June, June 2nd, if you're listening to it live. And today I felt really called to talk to you about something that I've been through this weekend and made me think about something that I know is going to resonate with so many of you. My son right now is 3 years and 3 months. And I've been feeling that he's needing me more than ever. He's asking for me all the time. He wants me to come with him everywhere. He wants me with him constantly. And one of the things, if you know or you don't know, my goal as a parent is to be a present parent. And what does that mean? I never send my son to daycare. I even plan to homeschool him. I don't want to be separated from him most of the day and see him maybe a couple of hours at night. I chose to be a more present parent, and the way I conduct my day is very putting my son first. Some people agree with it, some people don't, but this is how I see things. I see it as an opportunity for me to create a different childhood for my son that I didn't have. And I truly enjoy so much being a mom. I think it even surprised me because I was very into careers first and money's first and all the things that I thought is going to make me feel significant and important. Kind of didn't even come close to the feeling of being a mom, the joy, the purpose, the abundance, the clarity, it hits you on such a deep level and cracked me open that everything else just feels not as exciting, to be honest. But what happened this weekend and kind of inspired me to come in here? As I said, my son needs me, like physically needs me. He wants me. And, we have a very close relationship. And with that, I have things that I want to work on. There's things that I want to do. If it's recording my specific tracks for Cloud9, if it's doing certain things that I want to do through work, through clients, through stuff that I just need to do, right? Like the daily stuff that I need to do. And also, in the midst of it, he had such a rough time this weekend, just like crying. He didn't take a nap because we didn't have a chance to, because we went to his favorite spot is Rainbow Castle in Queens. Don't ask me why. It's the most random indoor playground, but he's in love with this. So he wanted to go to Queens, and by the time we were there, it's like 2 hours. Just getting there, it's like almost an hour, and just the whole day passed, right? And he was overstimulated, and he didn't want to go to sleep, and he was just crying over absolutely everything, and it was just like a very emotional, intense day. And my old version would get so triggered, and almost kind of like feeding from it and kind of I would see myself the way I've been raised. My parents would either just yell at me, or just kind of punish me or tell me not to do things and maybe even say something hurtful. And, one of the things that I pride myself, although I didn't have this kind of role model in my life, where I don't want to punish my son. I don't want to raise my voice on my son because the way I see it, if we can control ourselves, all we do when we yell, all we do if we punish, all we do if we try to bring somebody down or quote unquote control them through fear it's showing only to the kid that we are lack of control in this moment. And it just blows my mind how this work that we do here in Effortlessly Abundant Life, through Cloud9, through my work with my clients, and just like the daily choices that we do to regular nervous systems, the meditations, the affirmations, the decisions we make throughout the day, how that all piles in. And whenever those high intense emotional days come, and maybe you don't have a kid, so you don't really relate to it, but maybe you have a coworker that is like triggering you, or you have something in your family or your partners are a big thing, right? We constantly get triggered by them, right? Like things just get into your nerves. Everything feels like out of control. But in the midst of all of this, you are the peace. You are the calm. You are the grounded, strong, firm tree that everybody can rely on. And you remind everybody where they need to come back to. And when all of this happened with my son, I was the peace. I was the calm. I didn't tell him what it means to be, I didn't shame him for feeling down. I didn't tell him, oh, you're a boy. You shouldn't cry or feel this way. Why are you being this way? I didn't make a story about it because we forget that a lot of times emotion just needs to be felt. And the minute you give space for it, it just goes away. And for now, I am his emotional regulation because he still learns how to regulate his own emotions. And that is something that's going to come with time. And of course, I'm going to teach him that. But the best practice is, first of all, be that, not being sucked into the chaos, not be sucked into the craziness, but remembering who you are and what it is that you want to be. And it doesn't happen in that moment. It happens every single day when you decide to go and click play on the Cloud9 app and you decide to focus on your mental health, focus on yourself, move your body, nourish your body with whole foods, speaking gently to yourself, breathing in deeper. All these things that we think, doesn't really kind of do much. But in these moments, it all adds up. And you're going to see how much this work actually not only benefits as you, but is benefiting everybody around you. Because as I said, my old version would get completely overstimulated and yell and scream and probably say something hurtful that I know I would probably regret later and pretty much scar him and let him know that it's not okay to feel sad, that it's not okay to feel all these emotions that he's feeling, and make a story about it and then have him bottle up and then somehow release it in an unhealthy way. So the reason why I'm sharing this with you guys, the work starts with your daily habits, with your daily choices that adds up and compiles into the version that you are actually proud of. When shit is going to hit the fan, you are going to be the calm, grounded channel that all the inspired actions are going to come through. When everybody's going to run around and not know what to do, you are going to be the light in the end of the tunnel. You're going to think differently. You're going to see things differently because when you're in a flight or fight, you don't see clearly. You just literally half of your brain is shut down and all your blood is rushing into your legs so you can run from the danger. And there's no good ideas that come from that place. When fears kicks in, when survival kicks in, there's never a good inspired action that comes from that. It's only about survival and get out of the danger. But what if there's no danger? What if you can choose to see this as an opportunity, right? As I saw this opportunity, instead of getting frustrated that, oh, I have to clean the house, I have all these things that I need to do. And instead of that, remember what is the most important thing? The most important thing is how I feel, is how I vibrate. Because remember, it's not what we do, it's in what vibration and energy I do the thing. So, yeah, maybe I can yell at him and shut the door and just focus on what I need to do and get it done, right? But what vibration I'm going to be in, just get stuff done. But if I can calm my son down and put him to sleep gently as I'm hugging him and feeling this nourishment that I gave him, also nourishing myself, and maybe get less things done, quote unquote, but have it be more potent. How is it more effective? So much more effective. And I found myself that a lot of people, whatever it is you're working towards, if it's building your business or making more money for yourself, or maybe you're working towards your health, or you have some kind of goals and aspirations that you want to do. And we find ourselves that we blame. We blame our jobs for the lack of time. We blame our kids. We blame our partners. We blame everybody around, other than understanding that you actually hold the power. And I was thinking about it, how it is important to know your boundaries, to know what it is you can do and when can you do it and in what vibration and energy you want to do it. And stop giving your power away when, yes, your kids need you. Yes, everybody around you need you. Things are happening, of course. But how you choose to be in the midst of it, how you choose to communicate in the midst of it, it's all up to you and your responsibility. So instead of giving your power as, okay, my son right now is taking all my time, and I can't record this podcast that I'm recording for you, or I can't record these tracks for Cloud9, or I can't get back to this client, or I can't do this, all these things that, quote unquote, I can't. What it is that I choose to do, what vibration I choose to be in. Can I be the calm in the storm? Can I see things working out for me? Can I stop giving my power away and actually decide what it is that I want? What it is that I want. There is time and place for everything. Time is not as we think it is. It's very flexible and it's our perception of time. And a lot of things that I decided that are going to happen are happening. But if I'm giving my power away and say, well, only if I can squeeze in a workout after I've done working, after I've done this, after I've done this. When you put in the bottom of the list the things that are most important to you and you kind of squeeze it in only if you have time, you're never going to have the time. But when you prioritize whatever it is that you want, and it doesn't have to be a lot of things. I don't like a lot of things, but the things that actually are important, if you can prioritize them and put it in your schedule, maybe you need to wake up earlier. Maybe you need to put some certain time in between, maybe when your kids are napping or when you have room or a window in your schedule. Whatever that is, making sure that that is there. And so many of us don't respect our time with ourselves, thinking that, well, if I make it, I make it. If not, not. Well, you respect more strangers, right? If you have an important meeting with somebody, quote unquote important, like what makes it important? But yet, a meeting with yourself where you're going to sit down and work on your mindset, work on your soul, work on your ideas, work on your purpose, what it is you're building. That is actually, for me, is the most important thing. I was thinking about, and I was posting it on my Instagram, and 100% of you so far were up to this idea. I want to do a workshop teaching you how can you actually do it all. I don't believe you need to choose. I don't believe it's either you're 9 to 5 or you're fully business owner. You can be both. I do it both, right? You can be a present mom and still make shit ton of money and have still time for yourself to go on a Zumba or acupuncture monthly or do whatever it is that you want. I never been sold on this idea. Okay, now I am a mom. That's it. I'm done. I'm dead to the world. No, there is a way and method to do things in a way that gives you the results and still you have room for all the things that matter to you. And a lot of us don't know what they are. And it took me time to figure out. It took me to perfect it. And even before I had my key, I always been into like, how can I squeeze more into my day to make it the most out of it? But still, how can I have enough flexibility so I don't feel like I'm like literally, I feel like I'm in a prison, right? Like I don't like that when I have my whole calendar is like blocked by colors and like that for me doesn't feel like I can breathe. So there is a way to do it. So let me know. Go on my Instagram, DM me at Effortlessly Abundant Life. Let me know if you're interested in that. It's going to be a low cost because I really wanted to give these tools to so many people that need this, need the practical, like how do you actually do it? And also to give you the energetics behind it. Because again, it's not just the actions, it's also of how we do the things that make it more potent and gives us more results for the quote unquote effort that we put in, the time we put in, the energy we put in. Okay. So let me know. Also, in this month's Cloud9 edition for June, I'm adding an amazing section that is going to give you daily inspired actions, I call them, because it really is going to be an inspiration where we are going to focus on a principle, if it's a spiritual principle, if it's one of the things that really, really help me and not just give you the inspiration, but also give you a daily focus, something you can focus on during your day to give you more results, to give you more of that direction that so many of us need. So that's going to be added to the Cloud9 app. It's going to be a whole new section. It's going to be incredible. It's already incredible. And also 4 new tracks that are going to be added as they always do every single month, and so much more, and so much more. So, my loves, I hope this gave you some inspiration to look at your life right now and ask yourself where I'm giving my power away, where I'm making excuses about, let's say, my job, my partner, my family, my health, anything that takes you away from what it is you really want and forgetting that you actually hold the power and choosing how you want to feel and do the best you can with what you have. Doesn't have to be perfect, but it's still, you still hold the power. And what is the action you can do from that place? How can you be the peace and the grounded version of yourself when shit hits the fan? when everybody around you loses their mind and you just, it doesn't even, like you look at it and you don't even react because you're so not in that drama energy anymore. That is how you know you healed. That is how you know you're on the other side. And there's still going to be something else that's going to trigger you a little bit. And that is okay. That is part of our evolution. But don't forget where you came from and celebrate how far you came through. And that is something I realized this weekend. Like, holy shit. My old version would already lose her stuff. She probably gonna get a glass of wine, check out, check her Instagram, yell, say something offensive, and God forbid, maybe raise her hand. Because I grew up in a violent household where my dad used to hit me, punish me. I would, Russian household. Like, I don't need to say more than that, right? Like being in a corner with a belt when my dad hit me, and because I didn't want to do what they want me to do, or I didn't react a certain way, I didn't say the right thing, or, being overly emotional and constantly beating me down for it. And that is not how I choose to raise my son or have that type of energy in my household. And that takes a lot of intentional work on yourself. And as I said, it's not something that happens overnight. It's something that happens over time and it adds up. And when you're going to be reflected into these chaotic situations, things that used to probably trigger you, when you see that, oh, I get to choose, I get to be, I get to not be in the responding energy, but being more in the observing energy, that is where the power is. That is where you truly hold so much power. And again, as I said, the effect of it on everybody around you is huge. Because the second I was calm and my son saw me and he felt me, he felt, he cried a little bit and then he calmed down. And that's it. And that is all it is. I didn't make a story about it and tell him anything about it. And that is how we can truly heal ourselves and others. So with that, my loves, thank you so much for joining me for this week's episode. If you liked it, share it, rate it on your favorite platform. And with that, I'm sending you so much love, and I hope to see you on Cloud 9.